comfortable seated position, anything that works the best on your legs. Allowing the tailbone to relax, the spine to be tall, the shoulders to rest. Let's gather in some deep breaths through the nose towards the belly, creating rest as we relax out of the belly, back out of the nose. Feeling length in our spine with our inhale, feeling rest and relaxation through our exhale, finding just a few long, deep breaths. With the top of the head reaching up to the sky, let's relax an ear to the shoulder and help the side of the neck stretch open, and feel the shoulder blades beginning to relax as we breathe. Let's lift up to the top of the head and relax over towards the other side, shoulders relaxing, side of the neck releasing. Take a moment to breathe. Let's come to neutral, sliding our shoulders up and down a few times. And with our shoulders resting, our palms open, let's inhale and pull the fingertips up tall. Exhaling, thumbs down to the heart. Inhaling as we lengthen. Exhaling, lower. Finding one more breath. Inhaling, tall. Exhaling, down. As we interlace our fingers, knuckles pushing out, belly pulling in, widening through our shoulder blades. Get a little stretch here as we breathe. As we pick up our ribs, our palms press out ahead of us, stretching through the shoulder blades. With the spine tall, guiding the arms to one side. Guiding the arms to the other side. Back to neutral, palms up to the sky, lengthening tall. Arms over to one side. Arms over to the other side. Reaching tall, lifting the ribs, stretching the chest open. So we can stay with the arms reaching tall. You can rest your fingertips back or your palms back and send those shoulder blades together to lift the lungs. And as we inhale, send our fingertips up to the sky. With our exhale, twisting to the side. Finding length on the inhale, rotation through the exhale. Get a little release through our breath. Let's find neutral, lengthening tall. Exhaling towards the other side, lifting and twisting. Let's move to neutral, inhaling tall. And exhale, thumbs down to the heart. Let's find an all-fours position with our wrist relaxing under the shoulders, knees relaxing under the hips. Finding that neutral spine as we inhale, the chest opens. Exhaling, fold the ribs in. Feeling a little bit of movement through our spine as we breathe, creating openness and relaxation into our breath. We can keep moving the spine up and down as we find neutral, maybe a little bit of movement side to side. Shoulders drawing in towards the hips on one side, reaching towards the hips on the other side, relaxing into our spine, finding those releasing breaths. As we send our spine into neutral, stretching the right heel up to the sky. Option to just use this right leg, or we can send the left elbow up to the sky. And then as we inhale, feel your upper arm and thigh opening, and then maybe exhale them towards each other. Inhaling as we open, exhaling as we fold. So we're feeling stretch and release, finding those few reaching breaths. The next time we open up, feeling that rib cage expand, and then relaxing down. Let's find the other side. So maybe just lifting through the left thigh, finding stability, maybe lifting through the right elbow. Option to hang out or inhale, open, and exhale, elbow and knee towards each other. Creating any range of motion, any pace of movement here as we stretch into our breath. Next time we open up, feel that expansion in the front side body and release. Resting back to child's pose. Maybe we're hanging out here for a moment, feeling the ribs, the shoulders, the head, the neck, all relaxing. Continuing in our child's pose or sliding forward, finding that kneeling plank, hanging out, or maybe folding our elbows in. Let our inhale pick up the heart into our cobra, and then exhale, rest it back, finding just a moment to breathe. As our body rests in child's pose, we can keep the fingertips forward. We can slide the arms over to one side and open up the side body. And then maybe over towards the other side. Feel the shoulders, ribs, all reaching out. As we relax our arms back to neutral, continuing in child's pose or lifting up to downward dog. Maybe bending the knees, maybe lengthening the legs, maybe moving one thigh in and the other thigh out. Getting a little stretch through our legs as we breathe. As we guide our feet up into our hands, we're resting in our forward fold. Our inhale lifts us up just halfway, finding that tall spine. Planting our heels, let's inhale and send up ribs to the sky, feeling the chest open. Then we'll send one arm a little taller, the other arm a little taller, finding reach side to side, finding those lengthening breaths. With both arms stretching up to the sky, let's lift our rib cage. So we exhale, swan diving all the way down. So we inhale, reaching up halfway, and then exhaling the right knee back behind us. As we relax the knee, we'll inhale our hips and heart forward, and exhale the hips and thighs back. Staying in either option or adding that flowy movement with our inhale, drawing us into lunge, exhaling back to the half pyramid, and feeling that release into our hips and thighs as we relax into our breath. Our tailbone back, keeping the spine tall or relaxing the heart towards the thigh, feeling just a moment to breathe. Inhale sends our hips and heart forward, and then we exhale, rest it back to child's pose. Feeling just a moment of rest, or beginning to move. Maybe we inhale, find that plank or kneeling plank. We can exhale, elbows in. Inhale, open up the heart. Exhale, resting it back into our breath. As we are ready, sending that right foot forward into a lunge, heel slides under the knee, arms where we feel stable. We can inhale, hips and heart forward, and exhale, hips and thighs back. So maybe we get a little bit of movement as we breathe, drawing forward, relaxing back, feeling rest through our breath. Hips resting back or forward, you can choose. Spine can stay tall. Maybe our heart releases down and towards our thighs and rest. That next inhale, we'll send our hips and heart forward, guiding our back toes towards the front toes, feeling rest in our forward fold. Our inhale lifts up our spine halfway, planting our heels as we inhale and send the heart up all the way. Adding our twist, guiding one arm forward, the other arm back. Inhaling tall, exhaling towards the other side, finding length, finding rotation, finding stretch and release as we breathe. As we feel a little evenness in our movements, let's send the fingertips to the sky and lift our lungs. So we exhale, swan diving down. Guiding the left foot behind us, finding that position of stability, back knee up or down. We're going to flow our twist. So as we inhale, our right fingertips stretch up to the sky. And then as we exhale, fingertips reach back down towards the ground. So we're inhaling as we open, exhaling as we release. Finding a movement with our body's breath, stretching and resting. Next time we open up, we'll stay for a couple of breaths, feeling that length, maybe even open up a little deeper as we breathe. As we relax, turning back to downward dog or child's pose, feeling a moment of stretch and relaxation. Maybe we're feeling like movement, reaching into plank or kneeling plank to stay, or exhale, lowering with control. Inhaling, lifting and opening the heart, and exhaling, relaxing. Finding that moment to breathe, getting a little rest into our breath. Sending that left foot into our lunge, guiding the heel under the knee. That knee can be lifted or lowered as we flow. That twist, inhaling, left arm opens, exhaling it back down, feeling expansion, feeling release as we breathe. Open through that rib cage. The next time we send the heart open, feeling that expansion in our lungs. Let's release all the way back, child's pose or downward dog. Maybe feeling a little bit of movement in our legs as we relax into our breath. That next inhale sends our body into plank or kneeling plank, finding the kickstand with the right knee and the right toes resting, left fingertips flowing up to the sky. Feeling that lift in our lungs as we inhale, stretching and reaching through the breath. Now this left hand will end up resting on our hip. We're going to move this left leg up and down just a few times. Then we're going to circle the leg just a few times. And then maybe trade the direction. And then we're going to send the heel back behind us. Option to rest the toe on the ground. As we lift the ribs up to the sky, you can take your arm back or leave it on the hip, whichever feels better. Stretching into our breath. Let's rest our hands back to the ground. Turn our body into this all fours, or just that same knee that was down, just going to rotate forward and lengthen through the spine. Now we're going to find opposite arm, opposite leg. So with the left heel still out, the right heel reaches forward and breathe. And then option to pull the ribs towards the right and lift that right arm up to the sky. Maybe even bending the knee and reaching back towards the foot. Let's rest down here, choosing child's pose, maybe downward dog. Taking a moment to breathe. Maybe we inhale, choosing our plank or kneeling plank with stability. With our exhale, folding in. Our inhale opens the heart, and then we exhale and relax it back. Just a moment to rest, feeling a few releasing exhales. From that plank or downward dog or child's pose, we'll move into our plank to allow that left knee to make the kickstand and the right arm to reach up to the sky, noticing the body stacking for stability, shoulders, ribs, hips. Top arm rest onto the hip. So we start to move this straight leg up and down. Inner thighs, outer hips engaging to find that movement as we breathe. We can stay with this up and down movement. You can point the toe and start adding a circle through that whole leg. Maybe trading out that direction of the movement. And then from here, we're going to feel that leg reaching back. Maybe the toe rests on the ground, picking up the ribs to the sky. Maybe that right arm ends up reaching back as well, lifting up the heart to the sky and breathe. And as we find the hands on the ground, helping the body turn into neutral, left heel reaching back. Maybe the right arm draws forward. Maybe it opens up towards the left. Maybe even bending the back knee and finding the back foot. And then we'll release child's pose or downward dog. Anywhere your body's feeling like a good place to relax. Finding rest, or maybe we're moving into our plank or kneeling plank. Feeling stability or exhaling, elbows in. Inhale, lifting up the heart. And then as we exhale, finding rest. Choosing just a moment to breathe. Get a little relaxed relaxation into our exhales. Option from a downward dog is to find a three-legged dog with the right toes going up towards the sky, helping our right foot find its way into lunge. Let's open up into a warrior two with our arms drawing towards our legs. Feeling the lift of the ribs on the inhale, feeling the tailbone releasing outer hip, drawing that front knee towards our toes, relaxing into our shoulders. We're going to roll this back arm in so that the back of the hand either rests at the back of the thigh, back of the hip, or the forearm at the lower back. Opening our front palm, we're going to move this front hand. So we're going to reach it forward and then reach it back. Do that a few times. Reaching it forward, reaching it back. Noticing that openness in our side body. With your hand at the lower back at any level, you can feel your hips, and you'll notice if your body starts to fold towards the front leg or if we're still maintaining the side stretch through our body. Now the next time we reach back, we're going to hang out here for a moment, thinking about the front thigh drawing forward, the top arm reaching back, reversing that warrior, or also another name is called peaceful warrior for this position, stretching through the side body. Let's lift our arms back to our warrior two and rotate the heart towards the front leg as we find a warrior one. Inhaling fingertips to the sky, maybe even choosing to lift our ribs with it and feel that expansion in our lungs. With our exhale, sending fingertips to the floor, creating our lunge position of choice, and then maybe twisting towards the front thigh. Returning to child's pose, maybe downward dog, feeling a moment of relaxation, maybe finding movement with our inhale, choosing plank or kneeling plank, exhaling with control, inhaling, lifting and opening the heart, and then exhaling, releasing back. Feeling just a moment of rest, feeling a moment of relaxation, finding just a few resting exhales. Option from that downward dog is a three-legged dog with the left foot stretching towards the sky, helping our left heel guide its way forward into our lunge, and then grounding the back heel sideways as we lift into our warrior two. Finding length on the inhales, finding relaxation in the hips, the shoulders, as we exhale and breathe. Guiding this back arm in, feel it rolling in so that the back of the hand feels the back of the thigh, the back of the hip, or the forearm at the lower back, and then we'll flow this front arm. So we're reaching forward and then reaching over the head. So feeling that stretch, noticing that movement through our torso, noticing if we're continuing this side-to-side movement or if our body is folding in. The hips will tell you what your body does naturally, trying to maintain that openness in the chest. Great job. Now the next time we reach back, we're going to feel the front thigh drawing forward, the top arm reaching back into this reverse or peaceful warrior, feeling that openness as we expand our lungs, feeling that stability, trust in our legs and hips to keep us open and stretching. As we draw the arms back into our warrior two position, we're inhaling the heart forward into warrior one, noticing that length in our spine, or inhaling and picking up the heart towards the sky. Big lift in the chest. With our exhale, guiding fingertips to the ground, finding the lunge of our choice, maybe twisting towards the front thigh, and then releasing, finding our way back to child's pose or downward dog, feeling a moment of stretch and release. Maybe we're feeling like movement, with our body reaching into plank or kneeling plank. We can exhale, elbows into the ribs with control, Inhale, expanding into the lungs. And then exhale, resting. Feeling just a moment to breathe. Relaxing into our breath. As we send our feet up towards our hands, releasing into our forward fold. As our inhale guides us up halfway, we can ground the heels. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs to the heart. We're going to step sideways on our mat, and then you'll have the option. We're going to be forward folding. So if you know you like to have a few more inches from your fingertips and the floor, you can have your block in between your legs. If you don't have a block, you can always have the option of hands on the legs anywhere, or deep bend in the knee. So with our hands resting, we're going to feel just a little bit of movement in the spine. So we're going to start sending a shoulder towards one leg, lengthening tall, the shoulder towards the other leg. So feel just a little reach, side to side, lengthening in the center, stretching over to one side, and then over towards the other side. Now as we feel a little evenness here, we're going to reach our arms to the side and just a little twist. If you'd rather have bent elbows, that's available as well. It's not necessarily our biggest twist ever, just a little bit of movement through the shoulders, the ribs, noticing the stability in the big toes, keeping our legs stable. And then as we come to center, we're going to roll the hands in so that the back of the hands can hang out at the thighs, the hips, or maybe the forearms stack at the lower back, or maybe it feels comfortable to interlace the fingers. If we're interlacing, noticing the knuckles draw towards the ground as the shoulders squeeze in, and then our inhale picks up our ribs and opens our heart to the sky. As we exhale, we're going to slowly reach forward. So maybe hanging out at the diagonal, maybe finding parallel, maybe continuing to hinge at the hip. As our head and neck relax towards the ground, the knuckles can maintain rest at the hips, or we can squeeze those shoulder blades together and feel more openness as the knuckles stretch up towards the sky. Just a moment to breathe, feeling openness, relaxing through the breath. And wherever hands are doing, maybe the fingertips find the block or the ground, and our shoulders relax. If we have enough space, maybe our head and neck find a little up and down movement. Maybe just a little bit of side to side movement. Maybe a little bit of up and down again. Feeling just a moment of release as the shoulders relax towards the ground, and our bodies feel a sense of release and rest. So maybe our body is just really enjoying this movement here. If you'd like to add some twisting, we can bring our chest towards parallel and let one hand rest under the heart or on the block, and rotate the rib cage and the other fingertips up to the sky. And then we're welcome to trade sides, lengthening and twisting. Take a moment to breathe. As we rest back to neutral, releasing into our shoulders, relaxing into our head, our neck, and rest. And as we ground into our heels, you can pull the lower belly in, straight legs or bent knees. Inhale the fingertips back up to the sky, and exhale thumbs into the heart. So we bring our feet together. We're going to have the option, if you have a block or something and you want to place it in between your legs, this just helps to stabilize the hips and the lower back. So as we feel that inner thigh engagement with or without the block, really thinking about pressing in and feel that engagement lifting up. So we're creating stability through our thighs, through our ribs. And then hands or fist rest at the tailbone. The shoulder blades reach in or towards each other with the elbows pulling in. And we can just hang out here. We're already in a back bend. We can keep moving with our inhale, lifting the ribs. Exhale, shoulder blades back together. Inhale, lifting the ribs. Exhaling, shoulder blades towards each other, and open just as far as your neck feels stable. If you feel it pulling behind you, option to just rest the chin into the chest. It will take pressure off your neck. So wherever your body feels the most stable today, and breathe. Now with our spine coming back tall, we're going to release our hands to our knees and feel the spine lengthen. Add a little side-to-side movement. Shoulders towards the hips on one side, shoulders towards the hips on the other side, relaxing just a bit side to side. Now we can continue this side-to-side movement, or with our spine tall, we can twist both hands over to one leg, lengthening on the inhale, twisting through the exhale. You can keep hands on the thighs. You can do forearms with your block in the way. It's a little harder to get your elbow to the thigh, but if that works for you, take a moment to breathe wherever you're feeling like twisting. Let's find our bodies back into neutral. Maybe add a few cat and cow movements, opening and folding through the spine. Staying with the up and down, or adding a few more of these side-to-side movements. And then with our spine tall, option to reach the hands to the other side, lengthening and twisting, staying with the hands or using the forearm or hooking in to the elbow to find that twist. Anything your body is allowing today, finding rest into our breath. Let's find neutral, relax our hands, and then let your shoulders release just a bit. So maybe we're just resting where we can move our head, neck, and shoulders. Maybe we're finding that up and down movement, maybe that side-to-side movement, maybe that up and down again. With our inhale, find halfway lift. Feel the heels grounding, and then inhale, fingertips up to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs down to our heart. So if we have block, let's release the block, and then we'll add a little swaying movement. You can have freedom to move your legs if that feels like a good option, just allowing the hips some freedom here as we breathe. Alright, so we're going to work on some balancing, starting with tree. Grounding through one foot, thigh engages, knee joint softens, the other knee forward or opening to the side. Let the inner thighs reach in, the lower belly lift up. So we ground our palms, choosing that focal point. Toe hanging out on the ground or floating. Maybe the foot feels the calf or the inner thighs. As we find a place of stability with our legs, keeping our palms grounded or resting or reaching. Any place of stability and relaxation that works today. Feeling and resting into each breath. Releasing here. Let's relax those joints out a bit. As we're ready to trade sides, the other heel feels the ground, thigh engaged, knee joint softens, the other thigh forward or open. Feeling inner thigh engagement, lower belly engagement. We're grounding into our palms, finding that focal point. Toe can stay or float, or foot can find stability in the leg where we're not adding pressure on our joints. Palms keeping us grounded at the heart, or relaxing or reaching towards the sky, anywhere our bodies are feeling the most stable today. Feeling and relaxing through each breath. relax. Let's move out those joints just a bit. A little release here as we breathe. And we're going to move into dancer pose. So one foot forward, the other foot back. Arms reaching into the direction of our legs. Maybe the front foot takes on the weight, the back knee can bend. Maybe the feet and the hands find each other and we stay open. We can inhale, thighs and chest further open. Taking a moment to breathe anywhere you're feeling a good stretch today and relax into our breath. As we relax, let's rest those joints out, trading sides, the other foot taking on the weight, the other arm reaching back. Let's send the weight into the front foot, maybe lift the back toes or bend the back knee or find the back foot with the hand. Inner thighs engaging, chest opening, maybe even inhaling, lifting and opening further, finding a few releasing breaths. As we relax, let's shake out those joints, releasing here. So we find our way at the front of our mat, opening our lungs with our inhale, swan diving through the exhale, relaxing our shoulders, our ribs, our lower back. Maybe our head and neck, feel a little bit of up and down movement here. Maybe a little side to side movement, maybe a little up and down again. Sending our feet back into either downward dog or all fours. Maybe adding a little bit of movement in our legs. You can pedal the feet or extend one leg at a time from the all fours option. Then having the option to move into pigeon with the right leg. Maybe we send the right toes up to the sky and then send the right knee up towards the right wrist. The back knee can stretch behind us. If we have a block and you notice a lot of space in between your tailbone and the floor, you can use it for some support. Or maybe like using it for your hands to lift the chest up even further. Or you don't have to use it at all. We can stay lifted, we can rest forward, we can feel a little release. Our ribs and shoulders, head and neck, relaxing. Noticing the breath, feeling rest and peace through each exhale. As we inhale, lifting up the heart, stretching into our lungs. As we plant into our palms and tuck into that back toe, floating the front foot back or wherever it came from. Then moving to that other side, maybe the left leg lifts, left knee finds its way into pigeon of your choice. Feeling just a little lift in our lungs, again, option to support the hips or to lift the heart up even deeper with that support. We can stay open or relax down anywhere along the way. Our bodies are feeling a little release here, resting through each breath. As we inhale, lifting up the ribs, feeling that expansion in the front side of the body, expanding into the lungs. As we ground into our palms, tucking into that back toe, we can send the front foot back where it came from, stretching through the breath. Hanging out in the all fours or the downward dog, so we get a little stretch side to side. And our hips, maybe moving the shoulders towards the hips as we breathe. If you're in all fours, or just moving the knees and hips side to side if you're in downward dog. And we're going to find ourselves into plank or kneeling plank, so we can lower the torso all the way down to the ground and release our head and our hands for just a moment. Feeling relaxation through our shoulders, feeling relaxation through our ribs, resting into the hips, the legs, the arms, breathe. Just a few resting exhales. Option to continue relaxing here. Maybe we slide our elbows in line with our shoulders. As we inhale, think about your belly button expanding like a balloon. As we exhale, feel that belly button coming back in, stabilizing the spine. The next inhale will float the collarbone forward, opening up the heart, that flowing cobra to stay. We can exhale, relax, and inhale, open up again. So you can stay open, or you can feel that chest expanding with each inhale, the chest relaxing through each exhale, feeling that expansion, feeling that release as we breathe. Now the next time we open up, sliding the elbows under the shoulders as we find Sphinx pose, pushing through the forearms, shoulders relaxing, keeping that lower belly engagement as the heart draws towards the front of the mat, feeling that expansion in the lungs as we breathe, finding rest into our breath. So we're going to have the option to just hang out in Sphinx. You can pull your lower belly in and press into your forearms to lift the hips. This kneeling forearm plank. Depending on how we're feeling today, we can tuck into our toes and lift the knees off the ground, still pressing into the forearm, keeping that collarbone engaged to stabilize the shoulders, feeling that length through the backside of the body, resting into our breath. Then wherever we're at, we're bending the knees, sinking the tailbone back towards our heels so we can stretch out the shoulders, fingertips reaching forward. Breathing here just a moment. Keeping our arms reaching forward, our hands under the forehead, or hands back by our ankles. Finding just a moment to breathe. Feel a few releasing breaths. Then as we inhale, we're going to lift up our chest, and then if it's available, we're going to sit on our heels with our feet down. If your feet need to be flexed, that's available, or if your knees want a little extra support and you have a block, you can sit on the block at any height, whatever your body feels the most comfortable with. We're going to take just a moment to breathe. So we feel the openness of our lungs as we inhale. Shoulders relaxing. If it's available, we're going to reach our fingertips behind us. Shoulder blades squeezing in. Inhale, picking up the collarbone. Gazing up to the sky or chin resting to the chest. So we can continue here. This might feel a great opening in our chest. If it's available, you can lower down onto your elbows. It may not be available because it's pretty intense in your knees and your hip flexors. You can stay open and release. Or you can even rest your shoulders to the ground with the hands at your thighs or arms back. So we're going to take a moment to breathe, feel that expansion in our lungs. And then wherever we've landed, we're going to come back up. It may not be very graceful. We're going to lift up our chest. If you've used the block, we'll release it out and send our legs out ahead of us. Feeling that length in our spine, a little rocking in our tailbone, side to side as we breathe. We're going to send one heel in towards our hips, picking up the ribs on the inhale and then twisting towards our bent knee. Find a little release in our spine as we lift and relax into our breath, resting through our exhales. As we come to the center, let's trade legs. Bending the other knee. Lengthening on the inhale, maybe twisting. On the exhale, lifting and rotating through the spine. Just a little relaxation into our breath. So we bring our body back to neutral, relaxing our tailbone. You can stay hips on the mat, or hips can be elevated on the block, or you can bend the knees. We're going to fold forward, lifting our ribs on the inhale, exhale, resting forward, releasing through our shoulders, relaxing through our ribs, through the lower back, feeling peace through our legs, our shoulders, our spine, as we take just a moment to release into our exhales. Few resting breaths. With our next inhale, sending our spine tall, shoulders resting, bringing our feet to the front of the mat. We'll have options to use our block on our spine, so if you want to have it at your side of the mat so it's accessible as we relax on our spine, we can. It's optional. Feel your inner thighs engaged, lower belly engaged. We're holding on or reaching out. You can keep toes on the ground, or toes can float. You can keep heels on the ground, or heels can float. We can stay in stillness or start to slowly open up the body, keeping the inner thighs, lower belly engaged. Will help to control that expansion as we lengthen out, resting our shoulders, resting our hips. Option to stretch the fingertips over the head or rest the hands anywhere. We're feeling pretty comfortable today. And breathe, creating relaxation through the feet, resting through the knees, relaxing into our hips, our ribs, our shoulders, releasing into our spine. Just a few resting breaths where we're feeling good relaxation today. So we're welcome to continue resting here. As we're ready for a bridge pose, we can slide our heels in towards our hips, tailbone resting on the ground. So first option, if you'd like to use your block, is to send it inside the thighs, adding a little bit more pelvic floor strengthening. So as our inner thighs engage into the block, or just engage without the block, the heel grounds, the forearms ground, the shoulders ground, and our inhale picks up our hips. And it may be a soft lift, it may be a lift that expands further with each inhale, keeping stability through our exhale. Noticing the freedom in the head and the neck, our weight is in the shoulders, the forearms, and the feet, keeping us stable and open with each inhale, creating rest and relaxation with each exhale. Just noticing where your body is feeling good stretch today, finding peace and rest with each breath. With our tailbone, finding relaxation on the ground, we're going to have a few options. So first option is just create a supported bridge. So you can take the block at any height and slide it under your tailbone. The highest height will be almost like a mini wheel. So if you've been practicing that, we have a little bit of an expansion through our hip flexors and our ribs from our previous expanding work today. So then maybe that feels comfortable. If you love wheel pose and you just can't wait to get there, you can bring your hands to your ears and pick up the ribs and send the heart up to the sky. So supported bridge, traditional bridge, wheel, wherever you're feeling like hanging out, and take just a couple of deep breaths. Anytime you're ready for rest, we can release our shoulders, our ribs, our tailbone, all the way back into the ground, guiding our feet wide, maybe feeling the sides of our mat, letting our arms be wide, and then maybe windshield wide, bringing our thighs a bit side to side, creating relaxation through our tailbone, feeling peace and release in our lower back, thighs, the ribs, the shoulders. noticing rest and relaxation through each breath. Just a moment to breathe in peace and rest. We're welcome to continue these windshield wiper movements. We're welcome to slide the soles of the feet together, letting the thighs open wide and release into this recline butterfly. As our tailbone rests, our thighs open, our shoulders release. We're feeling a moment of rest and peace through our tailbone, through our ribs, through our shoulders, the head, the neck, thighs, and hips. We're feeling that openness with gravity resting into our exhales. We're welcome to continue in this resting recline butterfly. You can activate those lower belly and thigh muscles and pick up your big toes to the sky and maybe reach your hands through to hold on to the shins or the feet and feel your heels sinking deeper into the hips as the thighs open up further. Continuing to relax in this variation of butterfly, or grabbing hold of the feet or thighs and sliding the soles of the feet up to the sky, creating any variation of happy baby. Their tailbone relaxing, our lower back releasing, our ribs, our shoulders, finding peace and rest into our breath. As we hold on to our right foot or thigh, feeling that left heel slide all the way down to the foot of the mat, noticing the thighs actively stretching away from each other as we breathe. Taking a moment to rest, to relax, resting exhales. And we're welcome to continue this stretch. If you'd like to add the spinal twist, the right arm rests to the ground as the left hand reaches over, grabbing that thigh and exhaling it across the body into any variation of a spinal twist you're feeling good about today. As you gaze away from the bent knee, feeling a little release through our shoulders, a little release through our ribs, the lower back. Resting through each exhale, noticing just a moment of stillness and peace through each breath. Move our bodies back into neutral. Maybe we return thighs to chest or return to our half-beat baby option, hands on the thighs or the feet, finding stillness or adding that spinal movement side to side. As we hold on to the left foot or thigh, using the right palm to relax the right heel towards the foot of the mat, and notice those thighs gently stretching away from each other as we feel that peace and release in our hips, resting through our exhales. Again, option to continue this stretch. As our left arm rests to the side, the right arm can reach over and guide the knee across our body, feeling any variation of a spinal twist our body is working into today. Feeling relaxation, feeling peace and rest with each breath. As we move back into neutral, sending our thighs into our chest, just in, or if you want to return to the happy baby, we can. Feeling that release in our spine to spin side to side. Now I have an option for this restorative fish, so if you have a block or some other prop available that you can slide under your shoulder blades, we're going to feel that release at the top of the head, relaxing onto the ground. Arms and legs can be anywhere we feel stable. Maybe arms rest off to the side. You can do cactus arms. You can let your hands rest into your torso. The feet can be wide, knees resting in, or soles of the feet can return to that recline butterfly, or legs can be straight. Noticing a moment of stillness. If we don't have a prop for a restorative fish, you're welcome to just lift your chin to the sky and take a moment to open the throat. We spend a lot of time looking down, and our neck muscles are some of the first muscles to get weak in our body, especially as we age, as our spine loses some of our fluid and that space in between each vertebra, and allowing that comfort as we move each day. Tends to get dehydrated and weaken. And as our neck muscles get weak, we end up in our forward gaze position to where it's almost like we have a horseshoe around our neck that's so heavy, pulling us down that we can't even lift back into a neutral spine. Our neutral becomes a forward posture. So as we take a moment to just combat that forward posture, to take a moment to feel some space flowing through the front side of the body, stretching out the front side, feeling relaxation through the back side of the body, and noticing that it might not be comfortable to prop up your body into this expanded posture, especially if our new normal is more forward. It becomes even less comfortable. So maybe it's not starting with a block, but maybe a small towel rolled up until we can find comfort and expansion in the front side of the body. So if this variation of fish that your body has found is very relaxing, having the option to stay here, we're welcome to slide the prop out from underneath our spine at any time and find any other position of rest and release that works for the body. If you enjoy that recline butterfly, you can even use the block, if you have one, to rest your pinky toes on. It just gives a little bit more gravitational release in your hips as they externally rotate a little deeper with gravity in this elevated position. Or you can even slide the block under your tailbone, and as your feet are wide and knees are together, gives a little bit more space for your lower back to release into. But if we just don't want to think about anything anymore, just let the arms and legs release out, feeling openness through the palms, the feet, rest through the body. Beginning to gather in those deep, releasing breaths through the nose all the way down into the belly. Feeling that expansion with our belly with each inhale. As we exhale, relaxing from the lower back, the ribs, the shoulders, all the way back out of our nose with each exhale. We're feeling and resting into that peace, into that release through our spine, our body, our breath. Maybe we're inhaling out, inhaling in peace, joy, love, anything that we're willing to breathe in extra. Feeling those positive sensations flowing through our body with each inhale. Allowing anything that's not helpful for our body today to release out through our exhale. release into the ground and allow our body to find more peace, more joy, more love for ourselves and for others. Welcome to continue in this restful position, just as long as our body maintains rest and relaxation. Maybe we're ready to welcome in movements as we breathe into our fingers and our toes, feeling rest and relaxation through our hands, through our feet, breathing in rest and release through our wrists, our ankles, peace through the lower legs, the lower arms, relaxing the knees, the elbows, restful through the thighs, the hips, upper arms, and shoulders. We're welcome to stay as we are, or if it feels comfortable, you're welcome to hug the thighs into the chest and feel that relaxation of our spine on the ground. Maybe the tailbone is relaxing, the lower back is releasing, the rib cage is resting, shoulders, head and neck all find rest as we breathe, releasing through each exhale. Anything we just don't need today. We can continue any movement we're at. If it feels comfortable, you're welcome to release over onto your side for a few breaths. Feeling the head rest into our hands or upper arms as we notice just a moment of relaxation. Through our shoulders, our ribs, our hips, our spine. Breathing in those calming, peaceful breaths with each inhale. Relaxing out through the exhale. Anytime we're ready for a seated position, helping our bodies up to where we feel comfortable. If you want to elevate your hips, that's available. If you have a block or extra towel or anything, you want to roll up the back of your mat, you can. As our tailbone finds just a moment of peace, knees and hips release, palms open. Finding a few deep breaths together as our inhale travels fingertips and heart to the sky. Exhaling, thumbs down to the heart. Inhaling as we reach and open. Exhaling as we rest and lower. One more breath together. Inhale, expanding. Exhale, releasing. Namaste. Thank you for everyone hanging out with me today, online, in person, everywhere you are, maybe. Have an awesome day, whatever day it is you're watching. Bye.